To make the scrunchie, we'll need some fabric, elastic that is 10 inches long, and 2 safety pins. The fabric should measure 5 inches wide and 60 inches long. And because I didn't have enough fabric, I joined 2 pieces together to make the 60 inches length. You then need to pin your fabric along its length with the right sides facing together. And if you had to join fabric pieces together, as I did, make sure to line up these seams as well for a neat finish. Continue pinning to the end. You'll then take this to your sewing machine and sew with a straight stitch along this long edge. You will now need to turn the fabric to its right side, and to do this we are going to use one of the safety pins. Attach your safety pin close to one of the openings along the seam allowance, but not right to the edge. Then feed the safety pin into the fabric tube, pulling the excess fabric at the back as you go along. You'll want to continue this until you reach the other end of the tube. Remove the safety pin and turn the tube through completely. Take one of the openings and you want to fold in about 1/2 inch of fabric to the inside of the fabric. There, I'm showing this to you again. You just want to fold one of the tube openings to the inside of the fabric by about 1/2 inch. Then take this to your ironing board and press this flat along with the whole length of the fabric, making sure that the seam is aligned along one of the edges of this tube. We see how nicely pressed that is. Now the next thing we want to do is to feed the elastic into this tube. And to do this, we are going to use both of our safety pins, and we'll attach a safety pin on either end of the elastic. Try to avoid attaching the safety pin right on the edge of the elastic so that this doesn't come undone later on. Attach one end of the elastic onto the inside of the fabric tube. Again, attach the safety pin onto the seam allowance. Then you'll take the other end of the elastic, which is attached to the safety pin, and feed this into the fabric tube. Continue feeding the elastic through the tube, pulling the fabric as it bunches up behind the safety pin, and continue this until you reach the other end of the opening. Once you've reached the other end of the opening, remove the safety pin, and while you are holding onto both ends of the elastic, remove the safety pins from both ends. You will now see that your scrunchie is starting to form. Grab those two pieces of elastic and tie a knot. Make sure that the knot is not right up on the end, just to make sure that it will not slip or come undone in the future. Then pull the ends to make this knot tight. Okay, then arrange your scrunchie so that the seam which we sewed is facing on the outside of the scrunchie, all along the scrunchie. Again, just to make this neater. Next, you want to take that knot that you formed with your elastic and push it into the tube. You want to make sure that this knot is far from the opening, because we want to sew this opening shut at the sewing machine, and we do not want to sew over that knot. So to close this opening up, we will take the unfinished raw edge, which is on my right in this picture, and push that through, or feed it through the side which we folded over, so that there are no raw edges showing. Arrange this opening so that once again the seams are lining up. Snip any loose threads that may be there, and take this to the sewing machine and sew this opening closed. Okay, so this is that opening closed. You can see my seam there. And there you have it. Your scrunchie is done.